Hey guys, Bon here, and today I'm back with another walkthrough video for Elemental Shaman in a level 10 Siege of Boralus. I'm going to be covering what I use and what I think is the best to maximize your damage in AoE and single target. And I'm also going to be talking about the bosses and how to beat certain bosses, what they do, how to use your personal defensives to stay alive. Because people are struggling right now with hierarchies such as 8, 9, 10s if you're doing those. So I hope you like them. And if you like this video, don't forget to sub, comment below, and like the video. So let's get started. Those are the talents that you just saw that I play for this, and those are also linked below. So now in this very first pool in Siege of Borealis, or Siege of Boralus, uh, I like to Ellie and Stormkeeper here at the beginning. Normally I don't do this, but there are some trash mobs that seem to die a lot faster. These gutters have a lot less HP than the Enforcer and Bombers. So if you don't use your stuff a little bit earlier, you're going to get less of the pie. Is it padding? I don't know. I don't consider it so. So you're going to see me open with a double Magma Totem P-Wave. And I like to double Magma Totem because while the tank is gathering, you don't really want to just start sending Stormkeepers and going, hard right off the beginning. So you'll likely see double Magma into P-Wave, into an immediate Lava Burst just to get that burst of Maelstrom and get that Earthquake down instantly and start sending your Stormkeepers and Tempests. Let me open with a Magma, reset Magma. I'm going to P-Wave Lava Burst. Every time, if you have minimum 5 to 6 flame shocks, you can see my flame shock counter here. You're always after that lava burst going to get enough maelstrom to earthquake. So ideally, you earthquake and then use your stormkeeper charges every time after earthquake because you're going to hit more targets. However, here in this certain scenario, I opted to use my stormkeeper charges because, as you can see, the gutters are basically already dead, right? The tank is just God mode. DH does so much damage. So I wanted to get some charges out so I can get some extra damage on those gutters. So you're gonna see me Quake, Stormkeeper Quake, and that's kind of like your general rotation is gonna be Stormkeeper Quake, Stormkeeper Quake, and when you have Tempest, you're gonna use your Tempest. And then Lightning Rod management is more advanced play if you'd like to do that. You can see in my UI I have 3 Lightning Rods up on the main targets. That's something you learn to do with more experience. You control your Lightning Rods based on what you're targeting. So if I'm targeting the Enforcer and I Quake, it's gonna Lightning Rod the Enforcer. If I'm targeting the Enforcer and I Quake again, it'll pick a random target without Lightning Rod in the pack. So you can control this. I would Quake the Enforcer, target another mob that has high health, Quake that mob, and make sure, high prio mobs have the Earthquake because all Chain Lightning, all Tempests, they funnel into these Lightning Rods. But if you don't really want to worry about that, you can ignore and just stay on one target, and that's fine. You just do a little bit less DPS, not as much, but it's still okay. Here we lost this pool, so you don't really need to pop any personal defensives. It's not too bad in here. Just one enforcer that shouts. Avoid the frontal. And then going into the next pack, you can see I like to open. If you don't have Maelstrom, I like to open with P-Wave and Magma Totem to get 4 Flame Shocks up right away. Our Flame Shock spread is not the best. So sending with 4 to 6 Flame Shocks, 4 to 5 is not ideal. 6 is obviously better because you get more haste after you P-Wave. But 4 to 5 is perfectly fine. I'd rather get DPSing right off the bat than having to manually start flame shocking, and it's just not worth it in my opinion. So you'll see me here drop a P wave into a magma totem, into a lava burst, into a quake, right? So that's the combo. Magma totem, P wave into the lava burst, and that will almost always get you above 55 maelstrom needed to quake. You drop your Quake while you're targeting high priority mobs. In this case, I want my lightning rods on the Wave Shaper and the Raider because the gutters are just going to fall over. I have 2 Tempests. You get sucked in. Make sure you move out of this circle. I want to cast 1 Tempest before I leave. And every time after you Tempest, you want to double Chain Lightning because you're going to get 2 free Chain Lightnings, Arc Discharge, after you Tempest and it hits more than 1 target. You can see me do double Chain Lightning into a Quake and then use my second Tempest Charge on the Raider because I'm focusing my lightning rods on mobs that have high health. So you can see the wave shaper is low, so you want to refresh it on the wave shaper and then enforcer, and it's like a little bit of a pattern. And of course, I always put the casters on focus and I kick when it's up. And here you just go ahead and spam Chain Lightning. You can probably get a P Wave out because it'll reset before the next pack, but I don't want a Lightning Elemental because I want to save it for the next pack. In 2 target, you spam Chain Lightning. Whenever you Quake, you want to follow it up with a Lightning Bolt, and then it's filled with Chain Lightning. If you get a Tempest, you want to Tempest the mob that does not have Lightning Rod, or the mob that has the most health. For orbs, we're awesome. We can do Cap Totem or we can do Thunderstorm. Ellie is very good for these orbs. Here, I believe there was a little bit of a miscommunication. I thought we were going to pull these 2 packs, but he wanted to pull them ahead, and we had a bad patrol, so I think we end up coming back and pulling this pack. So I dropped Magma Totem, P Wave, 5, and then Flame Shock with 5, and then there's the combo again, right? After your P Wave and Flame Shock and Magma Totem, you Lava Burst, and that's going to give you enough Maelstrom just to Quake, and then you're going to follow it up with Chain Lightnings. So I go Quake, I'm going to cast Tempest, double Chain Lightning always after Tempest. I'm going to get my Stormkeeper out, and then you're just going with the flow. Chain Lightning Quakes. You can see me manually target the Enforcer here to Tempest the Enforcer because he doesn't have a Lightning Rod, and he has the highest health. And then again, after Tempest, you double Chain Lightning, keep dropping your Quakes and spamming Chain Lightning. Now, I get a lot of questions on what do you do when your P Wave comes up. What I found the best thing to do if there's plenty of targets is after you Quake, you P Wave, and that's going to put 2 P Waves up because Surge of Power gives you 2 Flame Shocks. After that, you drop Magma Totem, and you should have at least 5 Flame Shocks. In this case, Magma Totem's not smart. Magma Totem needs to find 3 targets before he can Flame Shock them. So we only get stuck with 4. It misses the Flame Shock on this guy, but that's okay. You want to line up your second P Wave with Magma Totem, and then you send that Lava Burst, and you'll get a nice big burst of Haste and Maelstrom. And then it goes right back into your Earthquake Chain Lightnings. And just a side note for my pet, I do not auto cast Tempest. I don't think it's a good idea. You want to wait till the mobs group up, and you want to when your Ellie has its buff, you want to manually hit your Tempest so your AOE from your Elemental can do more damage, rather than having it on auto cast and he might just send it on a random single target mob, which you don't want to do. Here we decide to pull these 2. This can be dangerous because you get sucked in and you might get firebombed or casted on. So just make sure you pop personals here. And again, you can see my action tracker here. It's a lot of Chain Lightning and Quakes and juggling. More advanced play, of course, is juggling your Lightning Rods. When you get Tempest, try to actively look to see what doesn't have Lightning Rod and try to put the Tempest on that main target. You do get a little bit of pad as elemental here with the orbs, but it's not necessarily pad because you're getting more Maelstrom from Chain Lightning the orbs, and you're able to drop even more Earthquakes that way. And keep in mind, every Chain Lightning that hits goes straight into your Lightning Rod. These mobs are dangerous because you want to pull them back, because a lot of teams always struggle and seem to wipe here because this first boss gets pulled by literally everything, and that's terrible. They should put them further back. I think we actually end up pulling them accidentally on the next pack. But again, you Magma Totem P Wave, send your Lava Burst, and then you start dropping Quakes and Chain Lightnings with your Stormkeepers and Tempest mobs that have lower or no Lightning Rods. Just juggle your Lightning Rods. You can see our friends have a lot of fun here. We like to troll each other, have a good time. It's always fun to have good vibes. These raiders are kind of a pain for us. They do suck us in, which stops our cast. So ideally, you want to Spirit Walker's Grace. You might actually even see me in this pack. Spirit Walker's Grace, because anytime you pull a raider, it just stops your cast, right? But if your Spirit Walker's Grace, then you can still continue to blast. So here you're going to see I'm probably going to open with the same combo, which is Magma Totem into P Wave, and then send Lava Burst, Quake, Chain Lightnings, and Tempest. I'm also tracking this number above my Stormkeeper is the random Stormkeeper charge that you get from Stormbringer. So you want to track that. You want to know when it's coming up so that you can use it immediately after an earthquake and generate even more maelstrom, right? So make sure you're tracking that. That's available in the like the Luxtos weak aura package or the modified one that I have. So I always try to kick here first. Looks like my healer got that first. You can see the Spirit Walker's Grace. Now I have two Tempests. So two Tempests is strange, right? So you can see here the number 2 represents two Tempests. They now stack, which is amazing. So I'm going to target the Wave Shaper, Tempest it. Then you're going to get your 2 free Chain Lightnings. And then I'm going to target probably something else in Tempest again. So there's that. 2 Chain Lightnings. Tempest another mob. 2 Chain Lightnings. And then we accidentally pull the ball. So this can get exciting. But this boss is, I believe, Captain Redhook. Now, Captain Redhook is going to have a fixate on a player the entire time. And the idea is to run him into bombs, right? So you see, this is a little bit hard to see, but this is not hollow, so there's going to be no bomb here. There's other circles that are empty, and that's where the bombs are going to land. So if you're fixated like my Evoker is, he wants to turn him up here now, because this circle here is hollow, and it's going to drag the boss, and he's going to explode, and he's going to take amp damage during this. But our priority right now is not to die and kill this raider first. Because if this raider sucks us all in, then the boss is near, he's going to kill whoever he's fixating on. So my job right now is I'm sending everything on Skull, which is our raider target, and I'm not getting off. There's no optimizing lightning rods here. Every Tempest goes into this raider. Every Tempest is just going, or every chain lightning goes off the raider just to kill him before he does his suck. So we successfully kill him. The boss even does a hook that you got to get out of. And you can see that we're pinging bombs, so the fixate goes to the bombs. And if you're not going to have time to run the boss over to the bombs, you can just soak this. So I drop totem and soak it myself, and now just the next person is just going to have to kite a little bit longer. And then how to DPS here is I send only earth shocks on the boss and spam chain lightning if there's mobs around him. You can see my tank going down here. We try to get a res on him quick. Actually, not a big deal because the boss just fixates, right? And our AUG is just kiting him, waiting for the next bomb sets. We'll see if I can show you what the bomb landing is going to look like. Okay, you see these two are empty, these two circles, so there's going to be bombs here. And you see how this one over here it's full. There's no bomb here. So if you're getting fixated, you want to drag them over here. So you can see my Evoker doing that very well. And there's two bombs there to the right, which you want to get him on. If he can blow up both those bombs, it'd be awesome. So again, you just Earth Shock the boss and spam Chain Lightning, right? Because Earth Shocking the boss puts a Lightning Rod on him. And that means every Chain Lightning that hits an additional target, 20% of that goes into your Lightning Rod. So that's the priority there. You want to P-Wave the boss and Magma Totem any other ads just to get that extra burst of haste and Maelstrom from the P-Wave. Splintered Elements, it's called, our talent. Again, here we get a double bomb. I believe the debuff stacks, so he takes extra damage. If not, it doesn't matter. He just takes extra damage, right? So here, spam chain, and I go to help out these orbs because Ellie is very good at that. You can either cap them or you can T-Storm them. I think T-Storm is much more reliable. Capping is more like a skill shot. But yeah, that's the boss. That boss is not too bad, but it can be definitely very dangerous if you get sucked into like a frontal from a trash mob. In these situations, the commanders are very dangerous, so I like to put them on focus, and I handle the kicks for that. So anytime this mob casts, he bolsters the mobs his friendly units around him. I want to make sure that I have kick available for it every time, and that's kind of like my job. So again, I'm gonna open up with magma, reset magma here, because the tank is gathering, right? You don't want to just go crazy and start chain lightning. Tank's still gathering. So get your lava burst off because it gives you your maelstrom, and then you're just chain lightning quake. You proc a tempest. You want to make sure you tempest on mobs that have high health, not mobs that are gonna die right away, because then you just waste your lightning rod. Because tempest also applies lightning rod. Send the P wave here. I hold this magma totem because everything is dying. Doing damage as Ellie is also like having good P wave management, right? Like I don't want to send a P wave now and then not have any damage for the next pack, because the extra burst of haste that you get from having that P wave into many flame shocks is fantastic for damage. So again, a light magma stormkeeper, and then I should P wave soon. You can see me spamming my stormkeepers because there's a little bit of ads that die too fast, and I want a piece of the pie. You know, if you want a piece of that AOE pie, you gotta sometimes go a little not optimal, but just like explode them right away so no one else can have it. Take it for yourself. All right, we get hooked in, and then this guy's just straight single target, right? And we'll talk more a little bit about single target rotation when we get to the third boss, because there's that boss is just straight single target. All right, here you can see I have a weak aura that says safe, but not for long, right? There's a mob that shoots bullets down here. You don't want to get mowed down. And this is just a dungeon pack weak aura that also linked in description below in my Discord. You can see the hide notification there. So I know if you run out there right now, you're dead. And now you're going to have a safe timer. So now it's good to go. And I should Storm Ellie here first. Magma Totem. I reset another Magma Totem. P Wave. And this is just nice, right? And then you send your Lava Burst. Boom. Huge amount of Maelstrom. You Quake. Send your Stormkeeper charges and your Tempests. And you explode everything. Stormbringer has great Stormbringer hero talents, and Ellie just has great consistent damage every pack. Just always has damage. Some of the bigger pools, of course, Boomy with CD should beat you, but then right away on the next pool, we still have that same consistent great damage. So Ellie's like a very top tier choice right now for keys, in my opinion. You can see me trolling my Boomy a little bit here because he's putting some circles on me, so I'm just returning the favor, having a good time. I'm waiting to see if he needs any help with orbs. I think I drop a cap here and leave just in case. These curse blades do a curse on the tank, so I was just looking to see if he had a curse, and he didn't. It makes him take extra damage, so I usually just decurse him if I see it on him. Again, here I should Magma Totem, Ellie, and then P-Wave. And then see how that Lava Burst gives you enough Maelstrom to just instantly Quake, and then just send your Stormkeeper charges. Oh, and then 2 target, I get a lot of questions, right? In 2 target, spam Chain Lightning. Drop an Earthquake for 2 target if they're going to be in it for the full duration. Alternate your lightning rods. After you drop Earthquake, in 2 targets, you want a lightning bolt. That's going to do more damage than a chain lightning, because after you Earthquake, you get Surge of Power, which gives you additional lightning bolt overloads, which will do more than one chain lightning. So just see I'm chain lightning spamming. You see me drop a Quake, and then I lightning bolt, and then back to chain lightning. And then when I Tempest, you want to make sure that you're sending it. I was going to send it on the Wave Shaper to have 2 lightning rods up, but he's going to die, so there's no point. So I just use it on this guy just to have him, just to refresh it on him. Ooh, I should have held that Tempest there, but I send it on him to kill him. Because you can hold the Tempest if a mob's about to die to blow up the next pack. Here I probably double Magma Totem here because there's lots of mobs. Magma, I don't actually. I only Magma P-Wave, and I send. You can see me manually targeting different targets for my Tempest procs, just to make sure that none of the babies are going to have lightning rod, right? That are going to die with it immediately. I want to make sure the higher health mobs have lightning rod. And you don't have to do this again. This is just optimization on my end to do more damage. Oh, first boss's name is Chopper Redhook, not Captain. Okay. I probably wanted to pop Astral Shift there, to be honest. Once you get later on the pools, that charge that mob just did to me is actually chunking me. So Astral Shift is a very good use there in high keys. Once we get higher, you absolutely need a defensive there. All right, so Dread Captain Lockwood. The way this boss works is you need a permanent slow on the boss, otherwise she like jumps and disengages and can like randomly kill people. So I like to do Earthbind Totem, but I believe my Boomy has slow on Moonfire, so we didn't actually need it. And I found out later that his Moonfire slows, and that keeps the boss from like randomly clocking people and jumping away, which is awesome. So keep that in mind. We can always maintain a permanent Earthbind Totem down to keep her slowed. But okay, so single target rotation, right? We wanna get use P wave on CD, lightning Ellie on CD, and you're gonna wanna try to get to 100 Maelstrom so you can Stormkeeper, Earthshock, Stormkeeper, Earthshock. And here I didn't do a very good job of that. Usually at the beginning, you can't really hold on to your Stormkeeper. Here you see me spamming Lightning Bolt for the next one. I'm getting P wave back as fast as I can. Use that Earthshock and then just spam Lightning Bolt. You don't want to overcap on Maelstrom, and she goes away. You're gonna magma. It's gonna spawn 3 ads, and you're gonna magma totem these, and then just spam chain lightning quake on these guys. You get Tempest. You see me target the deckhand because he's the only one without lightning rod. I'm gonna Tempest it. Now I have 3 lightning rods. All of these are just amazing, right? 3 lightning rods. That's how you do more damage. Optimize your lightning rods. I actually send P wave here, which is a mistake because the boss, this guy's dying. Now, I don't have Maelstrom to do the Stormkeeper combo, but I just send it anyway. Just send it. Don't worry about optimizing. Just the way to maximize single target damage is spam Lightning Bolt, right? Ideally, you have 100 Maelstrom when you Stormkeeper so that you can Earthshock, Stormkeeper, Earthshock, Stormkeeper. Here you can see me chain lightning a couple times just to get extra Maelstrom and extra boss time because you'll get a lot more boss time chain lightning all those orbs into your lightning rod, which is the boss. And this boss is just melting. And again, ads are spawning. You want to magma totem and spam chain lightning, quakes. You see me there lava bursting. You don't really want to lava burst unless it's with P wave, guys, because like it's just a bad habit to break sometimes. You just like the button lights up, right? You want to send it, but it's just better to ignore it and only use it with primordial wave. Other than that, as long as you keep a slow on the boss, it's just dodge swirlies and heal through the damage that the boss does. So what are we crafting, Flabbit? So main-handed, mythic, no, mythic hand, one-hander, no matter what. See, my ability tracker here is very action-packed with all those lightning bolts. Something I haven't talked about enough is nature swiftness. I like to use that with Tempest or lightning bolt or chain lightning. Oh yeah, see that? That's not supposed to happen. That's like the slow issue when she just randomly targets people and knocks them back. Not sure what happened there. Here again, you're hiding. Our tank just went straight for it. Get these orbs. Nice little buff for the next pack. I like to put this pillager here on focus so I can kick him. We're going to drop our Ellie. We're going to Magma Totem, reset, Magma Totem, and then P-Wave the big guy because he's my prior target. P-Wave and then Lava Burst into a big burst of Maelstrom, which lets you immediately quake. This is your Rolling Thunder Stormkeeper. So now that I quaked, I have Surge of Power, right? So my Chain Lightning Stormkeeper is going to hit an additional target. So you chain Stormkeeper, quake again, then I'm going to cast Stormkeeper, and then use that one charge, quake, another charge, quake, and that's just tons of damage right off the bat. And you should be proccing Tempest very soon after that, which you just once I have this many tons of nameplates at some point, like especially these giants, they go off screen a little, so I have to like look up to make sure I'm targeting like the right prio mobs. You can see everything just melting. I'm sure that my Boomy has CDs. And of course, avoid these bananas. These bananas will stun you for, I believe, 1 or 2 seconds if you step on them. Everyone has stepped on them. Everyone will step on them. The bananas are OP. Please nerf. Main hand with Ascension, Flabbit. Main-handed dagger with Ascension or axe. I'm saving my Stormkeeper because we know there's going to be more AoE, right? So you don't want to send your you don't want to send your Stormkeeper when there's like 1 or 2 mobs left, and you know you're going to pull more next pack. I gotta catch up to my team. I'm gonna help out with this Affix likely. T-Storm. You can see how fast I'm moving here. I opted to Magma Totem P-Wave Flame Shock just to get all of them Flame Shocked here. And I cast his Stormkeeper. I'm gonna Lava Burst, Quake, and then use both my charges. Quake, Chain, Quake, Chain. Lots of damage. And then targeted a mob without Lightning Rod, and then use Tempest, and then double chain right after Tempest, because you get 2 free chain lightnings. Tons of damage. Ellie's like really fun to play in AoE, especially Stormbringer. Once you get to single target, Stormbringer is a little bit less fun to play, that's for sure. Dude.
One person in Vaughn's chat was like, "Oh my god, he knows, he's a knower." Yeah.
You know, this is all pretty standard here. We've talked about this many times.
Oh yeah,
A lot of alternating chain quake, chain quake, chain quake.
it is fun. You might hate it though. I think there's a high chance you hate it.
Also, I came from a pro FPS.
Oh, that's true. Yeah. I mean, I will say.
And don't forget to use your Elemental's Tempest. Definitely when the mobs start to group up, I would highly suggest you. There's a macro to summon your Elemental, and then there's a macro that the same keybind you use to summon your Elemental could also use your Elemental's Tempest. So I highly recommend that macro. That would be in my Discord below as well, linked. Now Blizzard added this next pack to the dungeon, which is it's gonna be harder on high keys. Hopefully we can invis skip past this, but the commander does a charge and the raider does a suck in. And if you have the charge, you need a person, or you're gonna die likely once you get to higher keys. And you need to spread out immediately, or your whole group could die with that wombo, right? The whole group gets charged and sucked in, like you're all dead, minus the tank. Very dangerous combo. I'm not sure why they added this here. I'm sure people are not happy with it. And single target is chain lightning, quake. After you quake, you lightning bolt, and then spam chain lightning.
Yeah, we don't look at our time, bro.
I like to two target after I quake. I like to P wave. I just did it here because it's gonna apply flame shock to both targets, right? So then I like to do that in two target and then follow it up with a lava burst.
Oh, true. We got a +3 this for Vaughn. So his
I
YouTube
shouldn't have
channel.
storm keepered here, by the way. It was a bad decision because we have a big pool coming up. So I didn't have that much burst for the next pool.
You know.
We're gonna double pull these, which is very dangerous. Very dangerous. You cannot let any kicks go off really from the commanders because they'll buff everyone. So you're trying to. Here I'm likely double magmaing and then P waving a commander just to get everything flowing.
Capping. Bro, we got Vigil. Okay, we have Vigil.
You can see me, this little pink circle here is my mouse. You can see when I target a different mob to either Tempest it or Quake, right? So I'm looking for kicks. I get that shout there. I'm looking for lightning rods.
This spell can if you can.
Tons of Tempest procs here that saved my damage a little bit because I didn't have a Stormkeeper on the pool.
Big stone bulwark.
Now you see me get. Let me see how I use my defensives here. So defensively, once you get to higher keys, this is my astral shift. This is my bulwark totem, right? I get targeted here, so I astral shift, right? Because it's very dangerous. So I'm taking less damage. But as the pool goes on, I get targeted again, and I use my bulwark totem. Because this is the part where you can die. These commanders are no joke, and if you get hit by the commander and say like a cast, it's game over. I'm pretty sure, actually, the cast might be tank only, but maybe not. We are taking some other kind of now. You see me, I bulwark totem here, and then boom, take no damage.
Big stone bulwark.
Okay, now for Hadal Darkfathom, they changed this boss a little bit. He's definitely a lot harder, but not too bad. Instead of spawning, so the way they change him is instead of spawning one set of waves that come that you have to LOS in the statue, he spawns two. So you have to play around it. Like you'll see what I mean right now. He'll be spawning the waves in like 2 seconds. And I'm looking around visually, right? Okay, so we're safe here, but you're looking around visually for the second set. So the second set is to my left. So as soon as the first set passes, you want to dodge into the next safe spot. And you want to dodge further back. Because after this mechanic is done, he's going to spawn swirlies. And you don't want to cover the safe spots with swirlies here, like my team did there, right?
That's fine. That's fine. That's fine.
And that's actually the entire boss for this guy. There's also a tank funnel like this that the tank likes
We can
that
keep
it
this
can
one.
happen during the dodging. So the tank has to be very aware of that and not cover our entire safe spot with it. But you also have to be very aware of that as well. You can jump on the statue, I believe, and then if you're a dwarf, by the way, or a gnome, you could get stuck in this water swimming. And I almost die in this video because of it. So that's just something to be very careful of. You can see everything that I'm casting over here. Lightning alien, just spam lightning bolt. See, I'm looking for a safe spot, and when we're moving, always Spirit Walker's Grace. Save your Spirit Walker's Grace for the most critical movements of the fight. So here I'm just casting it, and I'm not stopping, right? I'm not stopping casting throughout all this. So here you can see me get stuck swimming, and I was like, I panicked a little bit.
Oh my god. I wait. No,
I have
that's
100 Maelstrom for this Stormkeeper, so I Stormkeeper, Shock, Stormkeeper, Shock, Stormkeeper, Shock. And then Tempest, you can just send it.
no. That's a
Just
that's a
send it. There's
perfect
no
that's a
no
perfect
no
play.
thoughts about it. You get Tempest, just Tempest the boss.
Maybe gnome.
Again, as soon as you get P wave back, you want to use it immediately. The more P waves you do, the faster.
Go ahead.
The more P wave, the faster you use it, the more you can get, right? Because every time you lightning bolt, you're reducing the CDR of your P wave by 1 second.
Holy shit, you're dead.
And I'm spamming it just to get this Spirit Walker's Grace back, so I have it back for the next one. You can see me chain lightning those ads, and it's definitely not pad because all that damage goes into the boss. I send this Ellie. I don't know if that was a good send or not. 15%. I would say maybe it might be up for the next boss.
If you need to go over.
Again, you almost never hard cast Lava Burst. Almost never hard casting Lava Burst, guys. And your Stormkeeper charge that you track, you always want to send it after Earthshock if possible. If you can't, then just send it. Just send it naked. That's why you want to hover around 100 Maelstrom all the time, just to have that wiggle room to Earthshock, Stormkeeper charge, Earthshock, Stormkeeper charge. This last boss, don't get hit by one of these swirlies. They will one-shot you, so don't definitely respect those swirlies. So for this boss, Viq'Goth, there's going to be one tentacle that slams that the tank is tanking, and when it slams, it's going to knock you back. There's going to be another tentacle that you kill after the other tank ad that is holding a dear friend of ours hostage. So first you kill the tank ad, then you free the guy. Once you free the guy, he'll fix your cannon and you shoot the boss. Now, how you can die here is the boss will put out two dots on two random people. That dot trucks. If you get that dot with a slam on top of it, that's the wombo. So you have to be careful. And you don't know you're going to get the dot. There is a projectile that travels to you, and you can react that way. And then you can also dwarf the dot off. So keep that in mind. You can dwarf it off, and you can personal the dot. So I like to open with dotting this mob and then P-waving, or other way, I P-wave here and I Magma Totem this guy, just to get two Lava Burst procs from our P-wave at the beginning. That's just the beginning, right? So here's the dot incoming. I get the dot and I wall, but he dispels me first anyway, which is fine. And then you just single target this guy down. There's the knockback and the swirlies that you have to dodge. And you just straight single target on this guy. I don't read out after the first one because I think it's a waste, so I just keep, I had nothing there for movement. And then you just keep single targeting. You can see me try to chain lightning the ads there. It's extra damage. I'm saving my lightning Ellie here for the next tank tentacle. I like to stay behind for my group to do the cannon because if I get selected with a dot, I know I can dwarf it off.
Thank you, Kevin.
So here's our little guy, our little bro. Fix my cannon. You want to shoot the boss 3 times and he dies. Get in, boom. I almost die here because the note was in the way and I can't get out of the vehicle without moving the RT note. I was like, okay, that's not good. So again, I like to dot these two before I go, and then boom, I barely get off that Stormkeeper. I was running out of time. If you're running out of time, it's better to just use that Stormkeeper charge than waste it, always.
Rage build.
I didn't use it optimally. I sent it right after a Lava Burst instead of an Earth Shock, but it's
No,
still better than nothing.
I pre-stone bulwark, so I was good.
Okay, P wave, and then just continue your single target rotation.
Because I was so prepared. Got a big
One thing you have to be careful of with P wave is P wave has travel time.
I just felt
So
Mage
if
and
you
Stone
P
Warrior.
wave and then do like an instant lava burst and P wave doesn't get there first, you won't consume it. So definitely be wary with that. Also, P wave has another issue where if you P wave and if you hard cast lava burst into an earth shock, your surge of power is going to get consumed by your overloaded lava burst. It's very strange, so just keep an eye out for that. So like what I like to do to play around it is after I P wave, if I'm hard casting lava burst, I wait like zero point 0.2, zero point 0.3 seconds, and just to make sure that I get to keep that surge of power from my Earth Shock, so I can use Stormkeeper on that charge. You can see here, like, oh, this fight is just so much fun, right? Got the Dispel knockback, got the knockback from the tentacle. I get just keep getting knocked back. It's just amazing.
This shit is so. The MOS on this third part is
A
so
little bit of
good.
frustration here. I'm probably gonna dwarf this dot off here. I do.
Oh, good work. Yeah, that works.
Because I'm like, okay, I might as well use it once this fight, so I'll just dwarf here. You finish off this tentacle, and then you free your homie, and you're gonna be home free.
Debuff, debuff.
And then the danger part in this area, guys, or any area really, is when you see the swirlies on the ground, you can get slammed into them. So make sure that you know where the tank tentacle is and which way you're gonna go, so that you don't get knocked into a swirly. That is a wombo that you can die to, so be wary with that.
We're fine. We're fine. I got.
Here they dispel a dot on me, so I go flying.
No!
Gust of wind back into the cannon. Somebody else shoots it, so that's good.
No!
So we end up two chesting this one, which is nice. And I think we
Oh!
got no loot.
Goodbye.
Oh, unlucky, no loot. But that's my Siege 10 walkthrough. Let me know if you guys like this and want to see more videos like this. And again, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. I'll catch you guys in the next video. Peace.